County called Uplift, and I am very grateful that we have some lovely people with us this evening that's going to tell us a little bit about it and how we can get involved. But first things first, they actually want to know who's in the room this evening. So we're going to do a pass the mic, and all you have to simply do is say your name, say your business, organization / event, whatever your tie is to tourism or the county itself. And if you are just a resident that is interested, that is fine too. We are happy to have everybody in this room this evening. So who am I going to pick on first today?
Jennifer.
I'm not going to do it to her. I know somebody that will step up to the plate though.
Hi, I haven't spoken in. Is that loud enough? Is I got it? All right. So my name is Christy Henthorne. I'm with the Granville County Beekeepers and the Granville Gardeners. We have 2 annual events. We've got the Granville Gardeners Expo in April, and then we've got the Bee Jubilee in June. And I also do worker bee apiary, so honey and beeswax products.
Hi, I'm Mara Shelton. I own Tobacco Wood Brewing Company.
Hey, I'm Q. She's the owner of Tobacco Wood Brewing Company. I'm the general manager of Tobacco Wood Brewing Company.
And good evening. I'm Buck Buchanan, and I own Lumpy's Ice Cream in Wake Forest. But tonight I am representing the Central Children's Home of North Carolina and the Central Highland Games and Chief Championship of North Carolina.
Hey, I'm Mary. I'm just a resident here to check out what's happening and hopefully learn more about recreational opportunities.
Hello, I'm Victoria Whited, and I'm attached to the Camp Butner Museum.
Good evening. I am Tim Karen, Granville County Commissioner.
I'm Donna Perkins with the Oxford Public Ledger, and we look forward to promoting your businesses and helping with tourism in Granville County.
I'm Gray Blackwell. I do the Granville Hunt Farm just up the road, and now Granville Christmas Farm. So.
I am Jennifer Cafalo, the Executive Director of Granville Education Foundation.
All right, which direction am I going in? Let's see. Paula. I'm not going to do that. No, ma'am. You can do it yourself.
My name is Paula Kolarov. My husband and I own a wedding venue on our farm at Cedar Grove Acres.
I am Tony Ann Wheeler. I am with the Granville Museum and the Lord Granville Heritage Association. They have an event every year. The Lord Granville does promoting antique tractors and farm equipment and things like that. And so I'm here with that. And then, of course, with the museum. And you'll hear a little bit more from our director, Stephanie.
My name is Stephanie May, and I am the director of the Granville County Historical Society and Museum. We are a nonprofit located in the heart of downtown Oxford.
My name is Zach May, and I'm here supporting the Granville Museum.
My name is Juanita Rogers, and I'm attending as a citizen and a resident of Oxford.
Hello, I'm Cheryl LeMay. I'm the owner and innkeeper at Peace Point Guest House.
Great evening. I'm Lorene Allen with the Empowerment Center of Oxford.
I'm Majulo Otho, representing the John Chavis Historical Society, and we're getting ready for Culture Fest 2023 now, May 13th.
I'm Deborah. I'm with the Humane Society of Granville County. We're a nonprofit. We have 2 fundraisers this year, the Pause for Granville, April 1st, and then we have one here, Pause for Granville, Shopping for a Cause.
And I'm Angela Gooch. I am the founder of the Humane Society of Granville County, and we are here to learn more about Uplift.
I'm Lisa Oakley. I'm glassblower and owner of Cedar Creek Gallery. We have several pottery and glass festivals every year, and this year we are having our triennial National Teapot Show 12. So
Yeah, Craig Chandler. I'm with Lisa.
Hey, I'm Chris Detmers. I'm really just here because Angela told me to come here. She supports everything we do, but I'm the Veteran Services representative here tonight. So, and it's good to see Donna and some other people that I've emailed with and have never met in person.
I am Teresa Puryear. I'm the County Extension Director for North Carolina Cooperative Extension here in Granville County.
Hi, I'm Rosalind Green, and I am a member of the National Mary Potter Club, and I'm the project manager for the restoration, rehabilitation of the shop building, which was built in 1926. We're going to make that a community center, so we hope to get that started this year. So keep your fingers crossed. So, and other projects, but also Artscape that the tourism supports for the Mary Potter, and that's coming up September 16th.
Good evening. I'm Tanis Jenkins, and I'm a teacher here in Granville County.
My name's Michael Boyd. I work for the city of Durham, but I'm a lifelong resident of Granville County. So I've got a lot of interest in tourism in Granville County. And I own a farm in Stem called Primrose Farm. We grow strawberries and whatnot. So.
See, a farm I didn't even know about. This is just cool.
So I want to say that is just awesome to see who's in the room this evening. And you guys, whether you realize it or not, you are all connected, whether you are just a simple resident, a teacher, an event organizer, a brewery, a venue. It all works together. And here is the group from Uplift to tell us how we're going to all work together to uplift Granville County tourism.
Oh, I don't need this because I have my look. Yeah. Since I've got the mic and they don't, I will introduce my partners, Hessa Valle and Simon Jones, and both of them are with Naturescapes, which is a private company that focuses on tourism development in North Carolina, beyond and beyond and beyond. So they have some international projects, and all of the tourism projects, because the name is a little bit of a hint, is centered around the naturescape. So it could be waterscapes, it could be landscapes, but it always starts in terms of the scape. Fair enough to say? Okay, thank you. And I got everybody's first name except for one. The young woman that came in, yes. Ajulo. Yes. All right, go ahead. Ajulo. Okay, Ajulo. Okay, you want me to see if I can do it? All right, there's more people here than the earlier meeting, and my brain is so much more tired. Where do you want me to start? Same order. Okay, great. Christy, Mara, Q, Buck, Mary, Victoria? Okay. Tim, Donna, Gray, Jennifer, Paula, Tony Ann, Stephanie, Zach, Juanita, right? Okay, Juanita's not giving me anything. Yeah, okay, what? Okay. Miss Cheryl, who I used to work with, kinda. Lorraine, one of the first people I met in the room. Julo, Craig, who almost got forgotten. Deborah, Angela, right? Okay, Lisa, Chris, Teresa, Rosalind, Michael, and Tanis. Any questions about Uplift? Thank you. Oh, thank y'all for coming out tonight. This is such a great crowd. There's something about Granville County. There's right. We had a great tour, walking tour of Oxford earlier today, and I can't wait to have walking tours of the other cool communities within the county. What do I do? Just do that? Nope, it needs you. Yeah, there you go. Okay, Uplift. One quick thing. This is an acronym. I'm going to explain it, but U stands for understand. This is the test, Jennifer, that's coming later. P stands for plan. L stands for link. I stands for innovate. F stands for finance. And T stands for tell, as in tell your story. We're going to come back to that. We are here today, and with your permission, we'll keep coming back because of some COVID relief funding that has flowed down from the Economic Development Administration. And this particular pot of COVID relief money is focused on travel, tourism, and outdoor recreation. By the way, I will pause from time to time to just check in and see if you have comments or questions or ideas. But if I'm not checking in with you at that time and you want to say something, please do. Would love for this to be interactive. There was $240 million in this COVID relief fund for travel, tourism, and outdoor recreation. And this was the non-competitive part of things. So there was a competitive part of things that I'm not going to even talk about. But the non-competitive, $240 million was split up between the 50 states. And every governor received their portion. North Carolina's portion was $6.4 million. And it came to Governor Cooper. And then each governor decided like how to disperse it or really which agency was going to disperse it. And so in North Carolina, Governor Cooper gave it to the Department of Commerce to distribute among different programs. And in particular, it went to the Rural Economic Development Division. And that's important because we like them. They pay attention to rural areas. And so we really like that. So in addition to Uplift, there were 3 other programs that were funded. One is the Main to Main Trail. So you all are familiar with the Main Street program, but this is a sort of add-on to that connects to Main Street towns. Because in between main streets, in between this main street and this main street, there's a lot to do. And there's a lot to do out in the county beyond the main street. So the Main to Main Trail program was in existence already, and now this is funding to help enhance it. So that's one program. Another program is CORE. What does the C stand for? Creating outdoor recreation economies. I was going to say experiences, but both work. And that's being managed by Appalachian Regional Commission. So that's why we have ARC's logo up there. And they're working all over the state. And we need to see if there are any projects in Granville County because all of these programs intersect and overlap and complement each other. The last program is North Carolina Restaurant and Lodging Association. And this program also works statewide. And what they do is they provide training and job service placement for folks in the hospitality industry. And normally there is training programs that can be accessed by the American Hotel and Lodging Association, but it costs money to get. Now, with the grant that NCRLA received, anyone can receive this training and NCRLA just pays for it. So it's free to the business and it's free to the young person who wants to get a head start in the hospitality industry. So I mention these because we're working with them. We're coordinating with them to make sure that our efforts are, synergetic. Yeah, that's the right word. But also, these are all programs that folks in Granville County can take advantage of. This is the team. We have 3 folks here tonight, of course, and Kofi Boone works for North Carolina State, and Cheryl. That's how we found out we knew each other because we dropped his name, and he's a big name to drop. Kofi is a landscape architect. And he has worked in North Carolina 25 years, mainly working in rural communities, but also working in marginalized neighborhoods within cities. And so Kofi has a lab now, like a laboratory, a landscape architect laboratory. And it's called Just Communities Lab. Just as in justice, as in environmental justice, as in social justice, as in economic justice. And so we're really, really excited that Kofi is on the team. The overarching goal of Uplift is to boost tourism in rural counties, okay, in rural communities. But we don't want to, we don't want to come in and go, well, Angela, what are you doing here? Why don't this? Angela's got it, right? Angela's got it. All the towns, y'all got it. But I also know that in a rural area, you all wear many, many hats. And so some extra support coming in and doing some things, kind of pretending to be a, staff member because we talked about, some of the services that we can offer. Angela doesn't have time to, do that. Y'all don't have time to do that. You don't know yet because we're all anyway. So we like to think of ourselves as really trying to understand where the community is going in terms of tourism, what needs you have, and then providing support on those needs. This is a very community-driven effort. And in fact, it took a while for us to get physically to the county and all of the counties that we're working in because we went through sort of a permission asking basis, right? Your board approved it. We talked and we said, is this something that, would be needed? So here we are. I'm going to spend a little bit of time on this slide. We are focusing on tourism from a regional perspective. So I'd like for y'all to, for now, think about the last time you went out of state, out of North Carolina on a trip, okay? Think about some of the things you did, some of the reasons why you were going, and then also just some things activities you picked up along the way. Also, I want you to think about what county you were in. You remember what county you were in? You do? Good. Okay. Most people don't. Y'all are exceptional. Buck, you're exceptional. Donna, you're exceptional. Most people don't because they don't pay attention to the political borders of some other place. And so we are looking at tourism. We're approaching tourism with the mindset that the visitor has, that we're going to look across county borders to see what makes sense thematically to link up into itineraries. Now, I'm sure there are itineraries already developed in this area, but we're hoping to develop fresh ideas, fresh themes, and also put some energy into new products and new experience development. But we're doing it through thinking about things from a regional basis. We also are here to offer a menu of services, and you all might not want all of the services. And that's fine. Simon has worked in the tourism industry for over 25 years. Yeah. Yeah? Okay. Me, about the same. Hessa is one of my students. Like, she graduated and everything, and she's not a young person anymore. Well, I mean, she is, but she is. We're so excited that she's working with Uplift. I'm just saying she's not old like Simon and me. Sorry. And so as we talk about these new experiences and these new itineraries, you all might think, oh, hey, I've got an idea. We could do this. Or I heard during some of the introductions that there's some residents here just kind of coming to check it out and seeing what's happening. That's great. We want more of that. Maybe you are one type of farm and now you've just expanded to a different type of farm, right? And so there may be lots of businesses or attractions or agencies that are thinking about what's next, what's the next place we want to go. So we'd like to be a pal along the way, and we can be a sounding board, and we can connect you with resources that could maybe help you scale. I'm going to get into a lot more of the services in general in just a sec. But we have one strong emphasis I'll spend some time on now is storytelling. When you went on this trip that I asked you to think about, was there anything in particular that really stood out to you as a very meaningful experience that you took away? And if the answer is no, well, that's too bad. That's too bad. There's an opportunity lost there. Or maybe you went on a tour, or you met an artist, or you met a farmer. You had some emotional connection to something you did. Fantastic. We want more of that. And the way that happens is through storytelling. I could go on a kayak ride or a canoe ride and really have a good time and go, well, that was fun. That was nice. That was recreational. Or I could have a guide who tells me about, the fact that this is a black river and what makes it a black river and what has that meant historically for the area and why these type of trees grow near the river and what type of wildlife plays a part in the river's heritage and what the Native American culture used to do along this river and also, the trade routes that and on and on and on. And that type of interpretation and storytelling, something in there, I'm going to go, oh, that is cool. That is amazing. And I'm going to feel more connected to that place than I would if I hadn't had that storytelling, if I hadn't had that interpretation. So I'm a happy visitor. Great. So what? I have a connection now. Well, when you have a connection to a place, you care about it more. You want to preserve it more. You want to celebrate it more. And you certainly don't mind, as a visitor, paying money to experience a place that you now have a connection to. Does that make sense? Sure. A lot of you are in the tourism industry, so you understand that, of course. So storytelling is a big part of our program, and we will work with the Smithsonian Institution. They will come down and work with us in various communities on storytelling. They will also work with us on festivals. Oh my goodness, we heard in a meeting earlier all of the different events that are going to be taking place in Granville County in the spring. This is going to be a very busy woman. Right, and I say that like it's just going to suddenly start. You're already a very busy woman. So every July on the National Mall, the Smithsonian has a folklife festival. And if you haven't been, I encourage you to go. It's amazing. And they celebrate different pockets of culture from around the world. But what they also do is they work with rural/local/small communities to develop their festivals. And so they'll be working with us through Uplift to go through a process of learning about development and management and marketing of festivals. So not saying that you don't already know how to manage and implement festivals, but it would be nice just to get a review of things. And then if there are any new festivals that are coming on, not that you need any, but if there are any new ones coming. No. So that's another component of this menu of services. I don't know you all very well. I just met you, but I can already see that there's a lot of entrepreneurial spirit in the room. There's a lot of innovative minds in the room, and there's a lot of creativity. And so, like I said, the I in Uplift stands for innovation. And part of the Uplift program will also be to offer services for entrepreneurs who want to start something, scale something, add something, but also entrepreneurs aren't just found in private businesses. They're not just in the private sector. That woman is an entrepreneur. That woman. And we can find entrepreneurs in nonprofits. Humane Society, looking at you. And we can find entrepreneurs and people who do innovative things in government agencies. Cooperative Extension, looking at you. Okay, and so we will have trainings and professional development that appeal to all of these sectors, right? Attractions, destination marketing, organizations, which is your Tourism Development Authority, the board of the TDA, private businesses, festivals, I already said. What am I missing? Attractions. Okay, cool. Yeah, very good. Yes. And then the last point on the slide that I want to mention is sustainability. I've already mentioned, and I want to, you'll keep hearing me say it, that this is a very, thank you, wiggle it, thank you, wiggle it. That this is a community-driven program. Thank you, Christy, that's what you were trying to tell me. Really, Mara's like, this is a community-driven program.
Please continue. I'm screwing you up. That's what
No, you're not.
That's the last slide. I made the mistake. I did more than wiggle. That was my fault.
Bam. Thank you. I've already mentioned this is a community-driven program, and you'll keep hearing me say that because that's part of the sociocultural part of sustainability. There's economic sustainability, there's organizational sustainability, there's sociocultural sustainability, and there's environmental sustainability. And we aren't going to just slap that on at the end and go, bam, look, we're sustainable. That is like starting from the beginning, getting the permission of you to come into the community and get to know you. I'm going to stop here. This is one of those times I'm going to pause. Is what I'm saying resonating? Do you have any comments? Does it make you think of anything you want to blurt out? Yes, Chris, blurt.
So I've got to run, so I'm going to blurt quickly.
Go.
One of the things that I think the rural communities capitalize on that I noticed, especially this summer, my son plays for travel baseball.
Okay.
And we travel all over the United States.
Yes.
And most of these fields were incredible, and it cost like $30 a person to get in, and you're looking at jobs with landscapers and grounds crew and security and all this stuff. And it was, I mean, it was literally in the middle of nowhere. Maybe an hour from the airport.
Yep.
Right. But I think we've got available cheap land.
Yes.
And a lot of times the school systems are getting kind of fragmented and people are not playing school ball at the level that they used to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, the travel softball, the travel baseball, and probably even more other sports.
Huge market. Huge tourism market. Yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad you brought that up because a lot of times when we think about tourism, we think about vacations, right? And I mean, maybe you made that in, you hope that it feels vacation-ish, you're with the family or a couple members of the family, but there are a lot of different types of travel markets that aren't necessarily like your classic vacation, which counts as tourism because you've got people coming into the area from from some other place of origin, and they stay here and they spend money, and we like that. Thank you. Thank you for Chris. What? Yes, Miss Rosalind. Yes, please keep going. Yeah, I probably made things a little bit cloudy. So I was talking about the Economic Development Administration on the federal level had COVID relief money. Some of it was non-competitive, and I explained that. Now the competitive part, someone would apply for that. It could be a nonprofit, it could be a university, it could be a town or government agency could apply for that.
Right. I understand they can apply for that.
Okay.
They don't have to go through city or county representative.
They would probably need to talk with the EDA director who is assigned to North Carolina. Her name is Hillary, and she's in Asheville. I could get her last name for you. I can't think of it right now. And that money, Miss Roslyn, was the deadlines was rolling, right? So they were just going to keep giving that money out as applications came in. I have no idea what the status of that 500 of it's actually 300 was the competitive part. I don't know what the status of that 300 million is, like how much of that they've given out. Okay, but we could find out and then share that with Miss Angela. Yeah, yeah. Michael. Yes.
Anyway, town of Butler, I know this year that they mentioned a bunch of times they got a nice farm over there, as well as over at Milltown Road across the woods. But they were talking about out there, summer tournaments and everything.
Yes.
It's very diminished in the last year or two. So their money coming in, those fields is way down. But today, Kerry, they just approved a $200 million arena basically for that type of stuff. So,
right.
So you saying we got the fields already?
It is a huge thing. And just like meetings, so you have, if you think about like a big convention, right, that could never be held anywhere except Atlanta and Los Angeles because it's just a really big convention. But then you go down to like meetings of 50, right? So the meetings market, just like the sports market, can be really, really big. And they might need a facility like the one you're talking about in Cary. But then there's others markets that would love to come to Granville County to use the offerings you already have and the ones that could be developed.
So I'll look into that.
Yes, please.
We are a unique this year, thanks to cooperative extension. If you don't mind me mentioning, So we are actually partnering with the cooperative extension to actually bring one of their yearly conferences to downtown Oxford.
Which one?
There it is. So we're really kind of taking a chance on trying to do meetings and do it in a smaller scale. It is just about a 50 people conference, and we're trying to spread them out throughout the different businesses in downtown Oxford. Mm-hmm. For those that are looking at me like, Angela, why you haven't told me this yet? We really just started conversation.
Yeah.
So I will be in touch. Y'all know me very well. But that is something, that is another area in tourism that we are exploring. And thanks so much to Sharissa for even bringing it to that particular meeting group to even offer up Oxford and to offer up Granville County. So we are exploring that avenue.
That's cool. That is really cool. So it's all the CRD directors or?
CRD across the Council President North Carolina Association of Community Development.
Right.
So we typically do it in different cities, and so they're trying small communities. So it's just trying small communities.
That's great. Right. That's great. All right. Cool. All right. Great. All right. Any other comments? Yeah.
Do you work with like statewide organizations as well?
Yes. 100%.
We're thinking about trying to get North Carolina State People's Association to a conference maybe in Granville in like 2025.
Yep. Perfect. We were on.
So, and I'll talk about NCSBA stuff.
Love that so much. I got so excited when were talking about bees. We were on a call this morning with the North Carolina Craft Brewers Guild, for example. Not Rich, but Russ Haddad and Lisa Parker. Mm-hmm. She is wonderful. Yeah. So we work with a lot of state agencies. We'd love to talk to you about that. Good. And I love that y'all are meeting each other too. And we're going to do trust falls at the end of the meeting. Hope you're okay with that. Okay. Any other comments or questions? Yes. Any other questions about tourism?
Yeah, I'm looking at the Central Carolina Children's Home. Which
Yes.
is right here in Oxford. I was thinking about, it is the oldest Black orphanage in North America.
Okay.
And thinking about trying to get it on the Black History Tour.
Okay.
And get some storytelling going with that. And is that something that you guys would be willing to help with?
I mean, yes, and I'm thinking of other things too. Yes. Okay. We'll talk. Mm-hmm. Nice. Very nice. Lot of. Oh, I love that. I love that. Well, let's start talking about grants then. Yeah, that's great. So, real quick, we are currently working in these 4 regions. The counties themselves were selected. So you'll notice that it's very like East and Piedmont heavy, right? So there's a reason for that. There are very many service providers in the western part of the state who work on tourism and tourism-related things. And so we're tending to, lean east. The criteria for these counties, there's several criterion. The first one is we looked at visitor expenditures. Now remember, this is COVID relief funding. And so we looked at visitor expenditures from 2020 to 2021. And so there had to be a decrease in order to check that box because these are COVID relief funds. And so as a result of COVID, we wanted to see that visitor expense. And you would be surprised. I was surprised. I don't know if I was surprised that not every county decreased in COVID. Yeah. Allegheny County, for example. Okay. So anyway, that was one criterion. We also wanted to work in counties where there was a really wide array of natural and cultural resources. Oh, Granville County checks that box. We also wanted to work in regions where transportation corridors were nearish by. Okay. What was the other one I forgot that you mentioned earlier? Who? Tiers, sure. The economic tiers. Yes, exactly. So you don't find us working in like Cumberland County or Wake County or Durham County. Yeah. So Uplift is 3 phases. I'm going to spend a little bit of time on phase 1. That's where we are now. That's the discovery phase. That's where you understand, the you and Uplift, we're understanding about what's going on in Granville County and what's going on in Person County and what's going on in Caswell County. Phase 1, well, you can see we're right here. We're right on schedule. Good for us. And Angela and other people helping Angela, maybe that's some of you, are providing. Most of them. Well, right. So Angela is giving us lots of information about Granville County. We have a system that she can like upload the parks and recreation plans for different towns, master plans, strategic plans, economic development plans, greenways, blah blah blah. So we are learning about y'all, and also we're learning what the needs are and how we can add value to what you're already doing, all of the cool things that you're already doing. We're doing that for all of the counties. And so particular to Granville County, we're doing that in Person and we're doing that in Caswell. And then we're going to take some time in March and April to look at all this information and look at sort of what regionally makes sense, what we see. We're going to reflect back what we see based on what you all have provided to us. That might give us sort of a blueprint for going forward, because this is community driven. This is not a cookie cutter type program. And so we need to learn more before we can even make suggestions. Before we listen, we need to listen to your suggestions. The end, we will also launch what we're calling a online knowledge center, which will have some of the grant information on it, which will continually be updated. We're going to end phase one with a one-day regional workshop. So that may be in Granville, it may be in person, it may be in Caswell. And we're going to continue to have these regional meetings that bop around the regions. Again, to emphasize the fact that visitors don't care what county they're in, but also to build social capital among and across the counties. Some of you all are meeting each other tonight in the county, so we're also going to meet people from neighboring counties. And that map that showed the core counties, we're also going to provide some services to the contiguous counties that weren't colored in. Okay, they can also participate in some of our broader efforts. And those itineraries that I mentioned a while back on the objective slide, I should have said that the thematic itineraries aren't just going to be, you do this in Granville, and then you go over to Person and you do this, and then you go over to Caswell and do that. Because there may not be, I'm sure there are some natural connections between the counties, but maybe Granville has a stronger connection thematically with Vance or with Warren, right? And so the itineraries are going to cross over into different patterns. Okay, I'm gonna move on with your permission, okay? Because there's a lot on this next slide. Phase two. So phase one is about 6 months, and we're right in the middle of it. Phase two is going to be about 12-ish months. Phase two is where together we dive into this menu of services. It's when the Smithsonian comes down. It's when we begin the business incubator. It's when our grants assistance person really gets up and going. So I'm going to stop there for a minute to talk about grants assistance and also business loan assistance. It's a pain in the butt to write a grant application. It's a pain. And it sure is nice when you are brave enough to do it and dig in, you carve out the time and you really give it your all. It's really nice to have another set of eyes. And so we can be that other set of eyes. We can also say, oh, really, Angela, you would like a grant for blah, blah, blah? Well, who are you going to apply for? You know, who are you going to? And she's going to say, oh, well, I'm going to blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's great. But there's this other connection that we think would be a really nice partnership to make. So some of the efforts that you spoke of, yes, we can do some of the searching for you to try to find really applicable grant opportunities and do some of that matchmaking. Same with the business loans. We will also provide assistance to small businesses that want to expand or start a new niche or get started. All of that's in phase two. I want to talk about resiliency, but before that, I'm going to get to, resiliency and sustainability go hand in hand. There will be some training, some workshops on how to make your operations more sustainable, if that's what you'd like to do. We all got caught off guard by COVID, and so we would like to, as we develop, I need an example here. I need an example. So Christy, what do you do again? Beekeepers, thank you. Okay, so during COVID, let's say you had an apiary, right, that you wanted people to come see. During COVID, that could probably work because it's outside and you could do your thing. But there are other businesses that lost revenue. Yes.
Granville Gardeners Expo, Home and Garden Show.
Great.
Free for Granville County.
Perfect.
Perfect opportunity for local businesses to advertise.
Perfect.
Better for your-
I want to stick with the original one. Okay. Because where I'm going is virtual experiences. Yeah. And so, yeah, I want to stick with my original one. But thank you, because I didn't know about that. There are some experiences that during COVID they lost revenue, obviously, and maybe a apiary tour would do the same. There would be decreased visitation, just because of the unknown and how it would be handled. Well, we have seen through Airbnb that not only do they provide lodging and now experiences where you can plug into a local and go to a local beekeeping operation, but they've got virtual experiences now too. So I don't have time to travel this weekend, but I sure would like to do something new and different and show my kids. So I will log in and take a virtual tour. And so these are, while we're working on experiences, let's also work on virtual experiences, because that might boost that resiliency and that sustainability were there some other type of event that would keep people from coming physically. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Y'all tired of hearing my voice? Because I'm tired of hearing my voice. Yeah. Go for it.
So, storytelling piece.
Please.
Just give you a break.
Yes.
The storytelling piece is a theme throughout the whole program, because, as Carol said, it's really the essence of a lot of tourism experiences. It's that why you come back, and it tells the story to others about why I should come to an experience. And the storytelling piece is a clear marketing objective, right? You're gathering all these stories, you're able to tell the story of all the different experiences and activities, and through that, there you go. Is that better? Through that, you can use that for promotional efforts. But it's also about telling the story to others in your county and potentially others in the county next door, because we're going to use the storytelling piece, or we, all of us, as we work through thinking through our stories in terms of, I'm a B&B and I want to tell a story about my historic B&B, or I'm a beekeeper and I want to tell a story about beekeeping. All of these stories are great resources for folks within the county as well as for promotional efforts. Because if I'm a visitor, clearly I'm not originally from here, although I've been in North Carolina for 20, 25 years now. But this is my first time to your county. And if I turn up, let's say I'm staying here for a couple of days, I turn up to a B&B, and if that person sitting at the front desk, and I ask them, okay, I'm here, well, what can I do? If they're like, well, there's not really a whole lot to do, go down to Raleigh, go to Durham, go to Virginia, like somewhere else, I don't know. That's the worst answer you want. So you really want people to be able to tell each other stories, not as deep as you'll be able to tell a story about your experience and product, but at least enough so that when I ask what there is to do, they can say, okay, are you interested in recreation? Outdoor recreation? Yes. Okay, you can do this guided tour along this river, you can go to this park, you can do this hike. These are all outdoor recreation pieces. I'm interested in culture, okay, and history or art. And these are all the things you can do. So that person on the front desk, rather than says, go an hour south and go downtown Raleigh, says is able to talk about all these different things. And it's kind of a resource, as if you're a business, to bring on new staff. They have a place to go and understand everything there is to do in the county. So that storytelling is as critical about networking here as it is about telling the story to someone outside. So to give them the why I should come here and spend my time here.
That's great. Thank you. And when Simon is talking about telling each other's story, that's also known as internal marketing. Okay, because we're marketing about each other to each other. Right. Yes. And so that's a really good segue to talk about this, the last item on this slide, and then we're moving on to the next slide, which is the Friendly Fam Tour. Now, all these activities will take place over the course of 12 months, okay, 12-ish, maybe a little bit more. But we're going to do it twice because this is a 3-year program, and all y'all are busy, and you do many, many things, and you may not have a chance to participate the first time around. So we're going to offer a second round of the same types of services, the grants, the loans, the training. Also, there might be someone in the county, I don't believe it in this county because y'all are clearly good at getting the word out, but there might be someone who just didn't hear about it. And then they started hearing about it from people who are participating, and they're like, I want to do that. And so then they can participate in the second round. There's also people, believe it or not, that are going to go, I don't think that's going to work. And then they're just going to like sit back and watch and wait for it to see what happens. And then they're like, okay, it looks like it's working. I'm going to participate now. There are people like that. What? No, not okay. Okay, good. Good to know. Good to know. But the friendly familiarization tour that will end phase 2, both iterations of phase 2. So I'm a familiarization tour. A familiarization tour is a tool used in tourism to familiarize people who are going to sell your destination. And those people are travel agents, who are now called travel advisors, tour operators, travel media, like Our State Magazine, for example, National Geographic. I go like that to Simon because he has contacts there too. Not jealous, it's fine. And social media influencers. Also, agencies like Visit North Carolina does a lot of promoting of local areas for us. And so we want all of those distribution channels to know about our product. And the best way you learn, best way you can sell a product is to know the product. I'm an Apple user. I use a Mac, okay? But all of us have some sort of brand that we really like, that we're loyal to. And you tell your friends about that brand. Like I can say, oh, this is what I like about my phone. It does this and this is it. Let me show you how to use it, blah, 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 blah. If you gave me an Android phone and you were like, go sell it, you're like, I don't know how, because it doesn't make sense. And so you have to be familiar with the product in order to sell it. And that's what the familiarization tour is. Actually, this works. Wiggle. See, it worked. And so we will have at the end of phase 3 a FAM tour, familiarization tour, where some of these folks, the tour operators, the social influencers, blah, 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 they will come and they will familiarize themselves with Granville County and Person County and Caswell County. But that's a little scary and a little intimidating. And so what we will do first is have a friendly FAM tour. And so all of us in Granville County will tour Granville County and we'll learn about each other from each other. And that to me, in my mind, that really connects with what Simon just said about knowing each other's stories, because we're practicing our stories with one another, which is another, reinforcement of learning each other's stories. That makes sense? Okay, I just have to check in because it's late at night, This is late at night, yes, for me. It really is. It's dark, that means it's late at night.
So the idea we were talking about discussing earlier, basically means that once they'll get the tours and the itinerary, then we will include museums and restaurants, and it'll be tailored to a certain group or a certain interest or something that the person wants to travel and do. What we will turn around and do is we're going to basically turn into guinea pigs afterwards, and we're going to actually take a small group of you and take them on the tour. I would love to see this in the essence of having actual residents from Granville County go take a FAM tour. Get used to your own county. The coolest part, honestly, even the most horrible part, but out of 2020, is that people were forced to explore their own backyard. It was the coolest thing from a tourism perspective When I would get online and I would literally tell you guys, go to the strawberry farm in yada, 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 and share your pictures. People are like, I didn't even know this farm existed. I've been living in Granville County 20 years. Or the fact of the matter is, some people didn't even know that we actually had a conservancy group in our area that's been building the most awesome trails throughout Granville County. And because you couldn't be inside with anybody, you were forced to go outside. So hopefully what this does for us, my whole idea and hope is that it will instill in us a pride in our own community, so much to the level that when anybody you know comes outside of the area, or even if you're outside the area talking about Granville County, you are knowledgeable about what we have as assets. So when people stop at your restaurant, at your retail shop, or even at your event, and they want to learn more about Granville County, you are a resource. Whoever we share this with is a resource. Because we all know, yeah, we got social media. Yes, we got our websites that look all pretty. And yes, we got all our menus and lists of things that we can do. But what is the best marketing out of all marketing?
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth. So this is our way of starting that, and then for that, expanding it to where we can invite people into our area and they can really enjoy themselves in Granville County. So that's kind of the discussion we had earlier, and as your tourism director, that's where my hope and my mindset was at, with helping them have us help us do that.
I just wish Angela were more enthusiastic about her job. Maybe we can work on that, y'all. And community pride is one of the biggest things that comes from tourism done well. Yeah. So phase 3 is a quick phase. We had, a 6-month phase 1, 2 12-ish months, 2 cycles of phase 2. Phase 3 is short. Again, it's 6 months, and we're wrapping stuff up. We've been, taking a pulse of things, asking your opinion, counting, how many folks are involved. We've been doing some monitoring the whole way. And so now we're going to wrap up those activities because we need to give a report to the folks who gave us money. So we'll be, we have some metrics along the way that we'll be gathering. And then we'll do more outreach, more storytelling to people outside of our region. And then we'll do the fam tour, the Realsies, for Realsies fam tour, the For Realsies one. Oh yeah, Christy.
Back at phase 2, the festivals part.
Yes.
Do you have a time frame of when we're going to do that training? Because I think we have a huge amount of festivals in end of March through end of June, and then there's nothing over the summer because it's too blazing hot. And
Right.
then there's a bunch of them in the fall.
Right.
And it'd be great if we could get that in January so we can put those skills to use for people that are doing spring festivals.
Right. We just started chatting about timeline with the Smithsonian yesterday. So we don't have a date exactly nailed down.
That's not this year, right? Like phase 1
Correct.
is for the next 6 months, as you said?
Well, we're in the middle of phase 1.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't have the timing nailed down for that.
So phase 2 will start probably May or June.
Okay, so too late for our spring festival.
Yeah.
Maybe in the middle there somewhere, and if not, definitely by the winter. And this is part of this process in terms of listening, understanding what you all need, where Uplift can provide value, is also understanding, okay, do not come to our county these months because we have festivals by the sounds of it every single weekend and everyone's just pulling their hair out.
Right.
But this period is okay. So, and obviously we're regionally, so we got to kind of balance those, but, sorry. Everyone here? So, yeah, so essentially, we're in the process of understanding that, but you all telling us, don't come up this month, but these ones are fine, will help us understand where some of this programming can kind of slot in.
Yeah, so on the next slide after this, there's a QR code that you can and sign up for updates, right? Because we're going to be communicating through Angela, but we're also going to be sending out newsletters and also just general updates about Uplift. We want you to be on, we want to keep in touch with you. And there's other ways too to sign up. Like for example, Angela is going to share the sign up sheets. Yeah, from if you signed up on the way in, as long as you have legible handwriting, people, we will be able to, put you on our mailing list. So, we want to keep learning about you. This is not the last time we're going to learn about you. Tell other people in the county, hey, I went to this meeting last night and yeah, this woman rambled some, but I think overall the effort sounds good. And so we've got materials that you can share. We've got this brief, this 2-page brief in digital form. We've got a 9-minute video. Yes, I can actually do this in 9 minutes. You're like, why didn't you just say that? I would have gone home and watched the video and then done some stuff. And we've got a website. Okay, so please share if you think you know someone who could be interested. And oh yeah, have fun. Yeah, no, we want this to be a fun process. That is not the QR code, but that is our email address. You can write to us in general at the ncuplift@gmail, but we're fine. We're happy if you email me, then I'm going to share it with Kofi and Simon and Hessa and vice versa.
And you'll also send this slide deck.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, as long as we've got your emails, whether you do it online or whether you signed up on that sheet out there, the online version. Let us know. We'll send a follow-up email with all that info in the next couple of days.
Yeah. There's the next slide after this is just like the first slide. So this is where I'm going to pause again, just see if y'all have any other things to blurt out or ask or suggest or.
You mentioned that some of the surrounding counties can participate in some ways, but we do a lot with Kansas County.
Great.
What can they participate with and what can't they?
Short answer. There's a long answer and a short answer. I'm going to give you a short answer. So a lot of our services are going to be high touch. So I will work with you one-on-one to write a grant, right? If that's needed. We can't do that for counties outside of the core. But then there's going to be Zoom meetings or the regional workshops, space permitting, they can come to those.
Okay. So if I have someone that's watching online that has visited Kansas County that wants to participate, should I put his information on the sign-in sheet?
Yes. Okay. But we don't have it now, we will have a longer answer of frequently asked questions for contiguous counties is what we're calling them. Sweet. Hey, Facebook.
Thanks to Trey Snyder at Next Door Radio.
Thank you, Trey at Next Door Radio. Thank you, Mark Zuckerberg. Not really. Yes, Q.
Can you go a little bit more into, well, not a lot, but just enough to kind of give you an idea what you mean with the training for things you were saying, like hospitality and service industry and whatnot?
Yes, that the North Carolina Restaurant and Lodging Association is providing. Yes, probably the best thing to do is share with you their website so that you can read it in their words rather than listen to it in my blah, blah, blah. We consider ourselves a sister program because all those 4 programs all received funding for travel, tourism, and outdoor recreation support. Yeah. So we're in touch with them, and we want to make sure that we're all good stewards of the money and we don't overlap. So we're not going to offer training like that because they are, for example. But I think the best thing is for me to get your email address, and we will just send you that link directly.
On their website, they have this whole long list of different training programs, and you or your staff or whoever, you can just sign up for them. And they're free, and then they're all online trainings. And it's restaurants, it's people in restaurants, people in lodging. There's also some hospitality. Sorry, I keep forgetting this. There's also some hospitality ones as well. So even just interacting with visitors there's some training on that as well. So we'll send you the link.
You can also access it through our website. Through our website, we have a complimentary program page in our site that directs you directly to that. So if you scan this QR code, you can. I know. Thanks, Mark Zuckerberg. So I actually wiggled on Facebook Live. Okay. All right. What other comments do you have? Thanks. Yay. It is cool. It's a really a fun job. Yeah, we're excited. We're really excited.
Are we gonna create a Facebook group with all these people that are interested in this so that we can easily communicate with each other, or how, like,
We'll figure out a way to
some
make it
way
happen.
to.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, because I will have to do this on a separate channel from Visit Granville. Stuff. So I will figure out a way that we can all get social with this also and share. What I've seen happen actually in other communities, they have actually created, like, for instance, I have a really good friend from Surrey County and Yaqui Valley. What they have created is a page called Supporters of that particular community, and that's where they go to communicate ideas and converse on how they combine things together and stuff like that. So that would be a great start for this type of group. And I mean, we can, put up there the Granville Endless should be done with that, and it can be a group by itself.
Right.
And we can use that as kind of our internal way that we communicate across the board what's going on with this particular program. So I will definitely create it and send out a link. Everybody get in on the board, and we can start communicating online that way too. But then for my traditional people, we will do email, and we will do phone, and we have to do it. So we'll do multiple communication ways to get the group up and going.
Yeah. And we don't have our socials up yet, but we will have our own socials and hashtag and, tag you, and then you'll tag us, and we'll tag each other, and I don't know. We'll like each other. We'll share. We'll tweet. We'll snap. We won't snap. We're not going to have to do Snapchat. No. Okay. All right, y'all. Oh, yes, Craig.
So that's impressive to remember everyone's names.
Thanks.
Some of these are
That's
kind of basic.
where the impressiveness ends.
You mentioned their metrics and your success and success of this program.
Right.
You have certain. So, what does success look like to you and for this county?
Okay, so Craig, that is a super long answer. I could write a dissertation on that. There's so many, right? There, that those measures of sustainability. There's going to be economic measures, or there are going to be sociocultural measures, and there will probably be environmental measures. That is a long answer. It's something I don't think I can adequately answer right now. But a lot of our success depends on your success.
Right, and you also get money through this $6.4 million.
Correct.
I'm sure you've got a report saying, hey,
yes,
we have
yes,
so many workshops. Or
yes,
so many people.
Yes, and this many people. That's right. Okay. That's right.
That's the things that you're measured against.
That's right.
That we could also discuss.
That's right. This many people in Granville participated, but there were also these folks from Vance that came over, and yep. There were this many businesses launched. There were this many new websites created. Okay. But also qualitative stuff, right? Numbers are fine, but also qualitative stuff.
I'm a project manager by.
Yeah, I love it.
That's always
love it.
Is Uplift a nonprofit, a government agency? What's the?
It's the name of the program. Okay. And so Simon and Hesse represent a private company. I'm a university. I'm a tourism professor from Appalachian. And then Kofi Boone is a landscape architect professor from NC State. So it's a collaboration. And then all of our wonderful local destination marketing. It's just a collaboration of all of us.
Yeah, it's not an entity in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But I'm going to put you on the spot, Craig. No, you've got more questions. Go for it. Go for it. What does the U stand for? No, what does the U in Uplift stand for?
Oh, understand.
Okay. All right, cool. Angelo, what does the P stand for? It should. Plan. Partnerships is better. Plan some partnerships. Gray, what does the L stand for?
Link tourism site.
Oh, you're cheating. Cheaters never win. Paula, what does the I stand for? I was saying how like you all are entrepreneurs and you're so creative and innovate. Excellent. Did you also cheat just then? Well, yeah, if you're gonna like look and cheat, you at least be sly about it. Right? At least just go. Right. Grace, like, hold on. The F is Teresa. Yep. And the T is beautiful. Awesome. Thank you all so much for spending time here tonight. I know it was a lot of time. I hope you feel it's going to be worth it. Thank you, Miss Angela. You made it all happen with really good food.
Thank you so much, Carol, and the Uplift group for coming. This is just the beginning. I know I don't need this, but I'm gonna do it. You guys know that this is just the beginning for us. This is truly the kickoff when I put this information out there. So you guys will be contacted on a regular basis. I will tug at you. I will ask you questions. They will ask you questions. But I wanted you to know the team first. So when they email you, when they send you messages, it's not just, oh, Angela told me to work with these people. It's something that we really should strive for, because this is actually a goal I've wanted to have in the almost 8 years that I've been in this position. I cannot believe I've been in this position almost 8 years, but I have always wanted to uplift our area and for people to really see how we shine and the way we do that. And I'm so grateful that we were chosen. Yes, we lost money from 2020 to 2021, but I feel like we are really on the cusp of getting ourselves not only back on track, but even on a better track, because more people are getting ready to learn about our area than more than before. And I think this is a time for us to get the tools, for us to get the skills, for us to get the resources, and more importantly, to pull our community together to make us look like an awesome place to visit, to live, to work, the whole shebang. So I am grateful to every person that took the time out this evening to be a part of this. And just know, this is not the only time I'm going to bug you, but I love you and I'm grateful that you're here. So please, we have a lot of food over there on that table. Please feel free to take that home. And if you have not taken the time, please sign up at the table right outside of the door, or make sure you get the QR code, but make sure your information is into this group so you will be tapped into what is going on. This is going to be 3 years of work. So let's get to it and let's have fun while we're doing it. Thank y'all so much.